make. Payroll baddies making it rain. Checks go out, no stress, no pain. You work hard, they got your back. Dollars dropping, that's a fact. They the heroes, they the stars. Payroll baddies going hard. It's not magic.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to our PayrollBADIes podcast. And today we're doing our inaugural first episode of our new segment called Get to Know a Real Payroll Baddie. And we're here today with my co-host Jesse Pappas and Flora Jebri from Delicato. We're super excited for Flora to be here and getting to know her a little bit better. But before we get started, Flora and Delicato Vineyard, where she works, was kind enough to send us some wine. So what better way to have a baddie podcast than to pour some wine? So let's make Jess, let's not drink from the bottle, right? Let's have some class. Let's get a glass.
I'm going back to the
that
school days.
rhymed. Let's
Yeah, that rhymed a little bit.
get a glass.
So,
I
I'm
like
gonna
it. Okay.
pour here. So while we're pouring this, Flora, so you sent us a really nice red wine. It's Pinot Noir. Is there anything else you can tell us about it?
Yes, this is our Diora Pinot Noir. It's made by our one and only James Eward. He's our winemaker, director of winemaking in the Monterey area. So this
That's
is
awesome.
the wine
Well,
stuff.
cheers to James.
Cheers to Delicato. James.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Now, do I wish it? Do I
Mm,
fit?
mm.
Teach us all, Flora. Give us a quick little.
However way you do it, it's still good. The same goodness. Switch it.
There you go. From an
What-
expert,
we're
Flora
like-
said, doesn't matter how you drink it. It all
Just drink it. Yeah.
just
Slurp
drink
it,
it.
swish it, and do whatever. It's gonna taste the
Oh.
same as just as good.
It is good. It's very good. I definitely recommend this one.
It's very good. So Flora, again, thank you for being on our podcast and being the first guest. And again, I think you, again, just a little bit of a history. Flora, we go way back. Flora is somebody who has been a big proponent of payroll and again, has been in payroll for a long time. But, we have had, it's a privilege to call her, a client of ours, but also, a friend. So thank you, Flora, for being here. And again, today we're just wanting to get to know a little bit more about you. So maybe we could start with how did you get into payroll, and and how did that happen, and anything else you can share about that?
Of course. Well, thank you guys for having me, and it's definitely been a ride together, and we'll go way, way back. So this is fun to do this with you guys and watch this payroll baddie go viral and blow up everywhere, and maybe we can make a difference in the payroll world. But so I've been doing payroll for a very long time. I accidentally actually fell into it. I don't think anybody grows up to be like, I want to be a payroll person. I want to process payroll. I used to work for a big retailer and a grocery chain, and during high school, and doing the bagging groceries and doing the carts because I wanted the early shift. And one day our bookkeeper quit after a couple of years, and my boss was like, you're smart, you can do the books, and you want to do the early shift, so why not do the books, and you don't have to worry about rotation. I was like, okay, it's just numbers. So I started doing the books for it was Albertsons. I started doing the books for them. Wow. And our bookkeepers were in-store bookkeepers. So part of the bookkeeper job was doing the tills, but also doing timekeeping and verifying and approving everybody's time to, that works at my store, and we send it to corporate and they process payroll. So I did that for years and it was fun, but I'm like, I want to go to school to be a pharmacist and do this. Like, this is just for now. Yeah. And then, yes, when Save Mart got purchased by, Albertsons got purchased by Save Mart, and Save Mart didn't have any bookkeeping positions open, but they did have a payroll position open. So basically, they were like, you want to join the unemployment line or you can take the payroll job. I was like,
Whoa.
I can do payroll. It's just numbers.
It's number.
No clue. Never touched it before, but it can't. If you're willing to learn, I think you can learn anything. So I joined the payroll department at Save Mart, and I learned, and I became a specialist in no time because I learned it so fast and was able to cover for everybody that was out. And I learned all parts of payroll. Eventually, I ended up being responsible for all the payroll clerks, and then I became a supervisor there. And this is like throughout the years. So that's how I ended up in payroll. I stumbled really into it because I chose to do a job that I don't know rather than join that employment line and look for one. Acquisitions and things like that happen. So it was kind of like, I transitioned through an acquisition. I was like, it's just another thing to learn. Why not? So when I was at Mart for a long time, then Delicato had a position. They contacted me and I went for it. I was like, wine industry. The company's been around for a very, very, very long time. 24 last year was our 100th year anniversary.
Wow.
This is where this
Congratulations.
logo,
Delicato.
that's where this logo comes for, 1924. This is the year we were born.
Wow.
Wow.
We are third generation, and some of the fourth generation are in the wine business with us, and also their babies. So fifth generation is starting to like trickle in. I mean, they're babies, but they're part of the family. When I joined Delicato, there was 420 of us. So going from Save Mart, a 30,000 employee to 420 employees, it was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to be bored here? What did I do? But, it's, I loved the industry. I love the family. They're, when I started there, second generation was still around. And I got to see the true family feel going from a corporate to a family business. It was such a culture shock, a difference. I love the family. I love the industry, and I believe in them and what they do. So it made me even just be better and want to improve what we have. So, it's just Delicato proud, really is. All of our employees, you can
Awesome.
see it, you can hear it in their voices, and it can't get better than that, right? People usually, they'll like, you're here, they're nice because you're new, whatever. But I've been there 11 years. Actually 2 days ago, I hit my 11-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yes, and
Happy anniversary.
Congrats.
it's been a fun ride. We doubled our size. We're at 1,300 employees between seasons. So
Wow.
420 to 1,300, that's a big growth. During that, we've acquired 2 companies since I've been there. One of them is the Francis Ford Coppola Winery in Geyserville, California. And if you guys don't know who Francis Ford Coppola is, that's the director of the movie Godfather and other movies,
Yep.
but that's one of my favorite movies. So I was all stoked about it. I was like, what? No way. And I'm going there. I want to be part of the onboarding because all the memorabilia from all of his movies are at the winery. Next time you guys are in California, I'm taking you there.
That's
I need
awesome.
one of you to do like a famous line from The Godfather for me.
I think Flora's got this.
No, I just know the bad ones. You go.
Yeah, maybe we'll
You
save
go.
it for later after we're done with drinking the wine.
Okay, after a glass of wine, one of us will do it.
Or maybe down. I know all the bad ones, but
Yeah.
Okay.
the PG, so we're down
the
for
rated R one?
the
Okay.
I mean, first of all, what an incredible story. And then again, I think this will probably resonate with a lot of people out there listening, hopefully, because like you said, I don't think people grow up, they're like, hey, I want to be a payroll, payroll person. Maybe in the future, because they want to be a payroll baddie, they'll be like, I want to grow up to be a payroll baddie.
Now maybe I'm going to inspire the new generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Payroll's
all you kids out there listening, exactly.
Yeah,
Take
we need new blood.
Exactly. But what a great story and where you've ended up. I mean, again, so today, Delicato, 1,300 employees. Like, just describe what is your role and how has the payroll department changed in the last 11 years you've been there?
Oh, a lot. It changed a lot, not only from systems, but our processes, improvements, a lot. So when I started there, we had we had, doable payroll systems, but none of us talked to each other and integrated. So basically we had Ceridian for payroll, we had Kronos for time, we had Kronos
Boo. Boo.
talk to
SAP.
each other. So it's
Yeah.
very, very, very difficult, entering a new hire in one system, then entering them in payroll, then in timekeeping. So it's kind of like it was too much manual work and it was a lot, even with 420 employees, ins and outs, it just gets too much paperwork from hand to hand to hand to hand. It was getting too much. So we decided we want to, we're going to grow, and we knew we were where we were heading, and we always want to grow and improve and, save time and spend it on other places where we can improve our processes rather than just sitting over there and doing data entry all day. So we had some SAP. Our financial, it was already SAP. Our procurement, supply chain, it was already in SAP. So that drew us to look at more SAP products and what's compatible with SAP products. We did some demos with other software companies, but SAP really stuck with us because it was very versatile, and it gave us the freedom to integrate anything else we wanted. It was, customizable, we can customize it as we want.
Yep.
And, it was kind of like, it was attractive to us because it was massive. It did a lot. And that's where our head was at. So I'm, speaking with my previous manager that's no longer with us, and our VP and EVP, we were able to move forward with SAP, and we started the implemented. So, SAP gave us the freedom of building our business rules, building our processes, everything within this system electronically without paperwork. Just it made our lives so much easier, and our workflows are amazing. I think that's probably like the most basic step in the system, but it's like the most utilized step.
That's awesome.
It's the workflows, because we do have a lot of approval processes and full circle things that we do with our jobs, our pay, our anything, our new hires, and especially when we were able to implement our recruiting, our onboarding, EC, ECP, Employee Central payroll, benefits. We did all of it. And it was nice. And then the best part was the fact when you finish processing payroll, usually people are like, what do? You just press payroll, push buttons. I do push one button at the end of the process where it moves everything to general ledger, where before I used to have to download 20 spreadsheets so we can post payroll to GL. So I think that was the most exciting part, and I could drink to that because that was
I was just going to say, let's drink to that.
I was going to ask, what's the greatest value you have found? Because it sounds like there's a lot of value, but would you say it's that?
Yeah,
Or
honestly,
is
no,
there-
there's a lot. There's a lot all around. My HR business partners love the system and the functionality of it. My managers, we're in a wine industry, so we're very production heavy. So usually, in that area, they're not very they don't like to use the computers unless they have to. So they were like, "Oh, it's not broken. What are you doing, Flora? Why are we changing all this?" And I was like, believe me, it's going to make it so much easier. You could do it from your phone. You could do it from your iPads. You could do it when you're in the vineyards. You don't even have to be at the winery to approve something if I need you to. So they were like, oh, okay. So they started listening, right? You give them all these things that they can now do without being at their desk. That was attractive to them. And also it was kind of it's very easy to use. It's very user friendly. For anyone really, and our population, everyone loves it. I am very fortunate and proud because in the Central Valley where my area is, there isn't a lot of SAP users or things like that. So I feel like I'm the one that brought it to the Valley in my area, and now I see, moving more south in my area, people are like, oh, SAP, you're starting to hear about it, and it's amazing. Because it's very Bay Area heavy in my location where we're located. But I hear it now. It's everywhere. And it's I'm proud. I'm we have this amazing system. And why don't you guys use it? I have a lot of friends in the industry that work at Gallo, other places, Trinchero, and they started using it. So they're like, oh, you were right. This is good.
That's, by
Love
the
it.
way, audience, we did not pay her to say any of this.
Oh, no,
This
no,
is,
no. I
we did
am
not prep, we did not prep this. This is true
Well,
from Flora's
it's my
mouth. And
passion.
it's, I mean, again, I hope when SAP listens to this, I hope they're getting, again, I know they're super, again, they would be super proud of all the stuff that you've said, and that's
No,
awesome.
this is
So
fully
that's great.
passion, honestly. That I'm the type of person that if it's good, I tell you it's good. And you guys have known me for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. If she hates it, she'll tell you.
I'm
you
not
too.
shy. It's no, if it's
with
no,
with some choice words with it too. With some choice
yes,
words.
of
Yeah.
course. But
Yeah.
honestly, it made my life easier. And I know, like, I wouldn't, definitely no one paid me for this. Obviously, I paid you guys wine.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
exactly.
We
Yeah,
did not.
Yeah.
How did we work this out, Jesse? We're the ones who get the
It's
wine, and she has
perfect.
to do it. You know?
I got-
like
I got this bling, and then
We did give you the bling. Oh, sorry. You know, we don't want people to think otherwise, right? So there you go.
drop
The
a
bling is there.
disclosure at the bottom of the screen. We
You know,
did give
yeah,
her a baddie
We
juice.
get the bling, but again, obviously, all these, like, this is such good positive stuff. But I think the audience really wants to hear some, like, again, with any
Sure.
payroll, there's always nightmares that happen. And again, I seriously, I enjoy, not enjoy it, but knowing being in payroll and how gut wrenching that can be. But it's always good to hear stories of that has passed, right? That has gone in the
Well,
past. And,
empathy.
yeah.
I think let's use a positive spin on this.
Yeah,
Flora, right?
me. I'm not. You know me,
Rather than,
Jesse.
like,
I'm not
no, I know
empathetic.
you. You're like, give me the gross stuff, but
I just want to
for
hear
me-
like what's the craziest thing that happened?
you are
There's a lot of
empathize
crazy,
with
but
your
there's a
other
lot of
payroll
good.
baddie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
so-
honestly there's all of it. There's people that randomly, the best thing that could ever happen to a payroll person is just get a random thank you for paying me today. Just,
Oh,
I think that's
we
the
should
thing.
start that. We should start that.
Let's
Every
start it.
payroll manager, every payroll person, every payroll team member.
Yes.
People should get thank yous, like,
They
because they
deserve
don't.
Thank you. But when
I
we
think
sign
in
up,
the chat,
yeah,
they should, everyone that's listening, thank a payroll person in the chat
Yes.
below today.
Yeah,
and don't
100%.
forget, thank your payroll person. That it is important to them. And it's really is, because when you do this job, I always say this, and I'm like, I know I signed up for this. I know it's probably one of the most thankless jobs you can have, because no one really comes and tells you thank you for paying me. But if someone thinks they're missing 5 cents, they're like, payroll's wrong and all of this and all of that. And it's like you just eventually build a really thick skin over the years, and then you just have to, like, before I used to be like, oh my God, it's panic, but you just have to always have in mind, like, you can fix whatever it is. It's not the end of the world. Whatever it is that took place, it's fixable. People make mistakes, people make humans, but freak out moments, I think I had a few, actually. One day I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm like, did I send my payroll file? So it was like one of those, and I did, because I double, triple, quadruple check. But it's like you just, I don't know, you become mental somehow because you're so paranoid and you have all these people you're responsible for.
Yeah.
And you're like, did I do it? And if you do, you're a very routine person when it comes to the payroll process, because you have to finish all the steps to get there. And that was one time I literally jumped in the middle of the night and I was like, I checked my computer. I'm like, did I send it? I sent it, because I had all kinds of email confirmations. Like, yeah, it was done. It's done. It's paid. Don't worry. I can already see my stubs and everything. But when I first started at Delicato, and I think that was my first very scary moment, I took over payroll, but then the payroll person was already gone. So I was new to the system and I didn't know how to use it. And I didn't have access to the system. I didn't even have a login, username, nothing. And it was like, here you go. You've never used the system, but do it. And it was a challenge I took because, obviously my VP at the time asked me, can you do it? I said, yeah, of course. Just give me a login. I got this. I've done it for a very long time. I know, we'll get it done. But you still have that, like, feeling in your heart, like, I got in, I processed payroll, and it was done, and it was good. And I sat there all night waiting for that deposit to hit the bank. So I know, because if I got paid,
Right.
everybody got paid. And I think that was really heart attack about to happen moment. Other times, it's you don't want to ever be late. Holiday weeks are always like sketch when it comes to like timing and banking and all of this stuff. But your scary moments are really, I feel my scary moments were all self-inflicted.
Right.
Not because something was done right or the system, whatever. Sometimes when the system goes on a reset mode or whatever it is, you're like, oh my God, it needs to come back up because payroll too. Like, hello, come on, you're watching it. But it's just, it works. We have cloud access. We have outside of, the system access. You could do it. I could duplicate my payroll. So even though you can do payroll and make it happen, you're
Right.
always scared for some reason.
It's so interesting because, again, like you're mentioning, even with all the automation and stuff, again, obviously things get better. And that's why having a system that does a lot of things and checks and balances for you is so
Oh
important.
yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, there's still so many things you just have to double check and make sure, because that's part of being in payroll.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to.
It-
If you don't do it, then you don't care enough. I don't care how
exactly.
good your system is. And SAP
Right.
for me, it's been great because a lot of the manual stuff that I used to do, it does it for me. It puts it right in front of your face. You can't miss it. Um, but you want to still do that.
Well,
Right.
it doesn't replace the baddie, right? Like
It
Right.
doesn't
all
replace
Exactly.
the baddie. No, exactly. Yeah.
doesn't
Exactly.
replace the baddie.
Yes.
We still need the baddies.
Because
So
whatever your system is just going to be as good as you. Because remember this, you customize it, you build it, your process you own. The system
Yep.
just does your process for you. So if you have to be good at your process and your steps for your system to work for you the way you want it. And SAP will do that for you. But you need
Yep.
to make it,
Cheers.
build it to do that for
cheers
you.
to that one too, Flora.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
And to me, honestly, like what I was so glad, again, this came out, because, again, Jesse and I are truly, we're just wannabe payroll baddies. We're not the ones who
Thanks
process
for
payroll.
that, Raj.
Actually, Jesse,
I've run
maybe
payroll
you
before,
did run
Raj.
payroll back in the day, didn't you? A little
Yeah,
bit.
for small businesses, I will say I am a baddie now that I'm not running payroll.
Except,
But it's
Sometimes I
hard.
question my career choices, but
but
I care about the people. I love my people. I love paying
that's it.
people. Yeah.
That's it right there, right? That, again, if there's anything this payroll baddie movement I think we can do, is just that, to show you, like, payroll, the actual payroll baddies out there, how much they care about their people that they're paying.
Delicato.
Right?
Yeah, I love my
You're
people.
up at night trying to make sure that the money hits a bank account. Like, you are caring. And I don't think sometimes people understand that, right? People don't see
Yeah.
that, right? All they see is maybe a missed, like, a few cents off. Or maybe, God forbid, sometimes there is some delays, right? Maybe not under your, out of your control. But just to know that how much you and other actual payroll baddies care about what you do and making sure employees get paid, it
You have
really
to
means.
be-
I hope everybody understands how much that means to everybody. So.
You have to be committed to your people. I think it takes how they say it takes a special person to be a nurse. I can't ever see myself being a nurse because I'll just sit there and cry all day. I see blood,
Yeah.
I'll be, oh my God. If people if people puke or vomit, it'll be me next to them doing that. Like, so it's a real special person to be a nurse, but it takes the same
for
kind of
payroll.
special for a payroll baddie to be a payroll person, because if you don't care enough, you'll just up and go and be like, why am I doing this to myself? And it's not really all bad, but again, you just have to have, not because, people are going to come to you. Everyone's going to come to you if they have questions about their checks or they think something went wrong or something actually went wrong. You just have to be able to first of all, take care of your employee, make sure they're okay. And they know that you will take care of whatever it is to make them happy. You give them that, it will let them know that they're good. They're in good hands. They'll be taken care of. You'll take care of them. And then we take a look at what took place, whatever it is, you fix it, you let them know what took place, what happened, how you're going to fix it, when it's going to be fixed. So you always have to take those steps. That's taught me a lot and gained me a lot of trust and respect from my people. And that's how I was able to build a good, successful, trustworthy payroll department for myself and Delicato's and everyone in HR in my department. Really, you have to have that trust with people. So when you tell them something, they take your word for it. You can't just be like
Totally agree.
careless, because people, they'll be like, well, I went to Flora and she didn't really care. She didn't
Don't care.
give me an answer. So you have to be that. And I always explain it to everyone, my friends, my family, my coworkers. You are the silent partner of the entire HR department and the company, because you're in the backgrounds, right? Unless someone has an issue or something, that's when they come to you. But you're in the background doing this and making sure taxes are paid, payroll's paid, taxes are filed. There's a lot that goes into it than just pushing buttons every twice a month to make paychecks happen. That's just one part of your job as a payroll baddie. There's the tax part of it. There's the, W-2 part of it. There's the compliance part of it. There's the
You're in California, Flora, which
oh
I
yes,
think is one of the hardest states to manage payroll in.
yes.
So
We're
you have that.
actually we're in all states. Obviously, most of
Yeah.
our obviously all of our hourly employees are in California, but we are in all states. All of my remote sales employees are in
Mhm.
all the other states. But yes, comparison to what the requirements are from other states to California, we are very strict here with the payroll laws and compliance and things that we have to do. And, depending on what the season is and what we're going to come up with in California, other states
Yes.
follow suit. And then now they're doing it too. So it's like, you just have to be like sharp and keep up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta, because then you'll miss something, and then an employee won't be able to participate in some kind of a FMLA program, or mental health program, or whatever it is. So like, you have to like super keep up with the date, because things change every single
It's
day.
it's
Yeah.
so interesting as you were talking to think about what a true like a payroll being in payroll, you have to have so many different skill sets.
Yes,
Sounds like you're sometimes you have to be very adept to change. Change is happening all the time.
oh
You
yeah,
have to, again, sounds like sometimes you could be a therapist to some of the employees on some of the
you do.
stuff.
That's
You
so
know,
true.
and like so
Basically,
it's
they have a
just
lot of line to help.
yeah,
Right.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
why
So it's
I
very
here. That's why I stay here. Okay, I get free
yeah.
wine.
You have to be good with numbers. So it's like it's so interesting to think about again, like you know, I don't know how the outside world sees payroll, payroll baddies, right? In the sense like, it's a very skill oriented role where you have to have a lot of different type of skills to really make it happen. And again, not to mention you have to be great under pressure, right?
Yes, you
That's
do. You can't
so
panic. You can't panic.
yeah,
I am one
yeah,
of those people, like, I don't care if the skies are falling. I have to stay calm. That's how my head works. I panic,
yeah,
you're just gonna see crazy Flora and nothing's gonna get done.
yeah. I
But if
know.
she's calm, that means
I mean,
she's focused, she's dealing, she's fixing, she's,
that's awesome.
mitigating risk. She's doing all of that when
Could
she's
you teach this to Jesse? Because I just want to say, so
well,
Right.
maybe,
everyone works in calm. Jessie could be
yeah,
that's how she operates.
yeah,
If I need a little chaos to go, I guess. And
Yeah.
you know where that most of that chaos comes from, though? It's from Raj. Like, you can't even
you
say it's
know,
self-inflicted. It's Raj inflicted on Jesse. But,
Yeah.
Flora, I feel like you're really giving a voice to the baddies, the payroll baddies, because I don't think a lot of people realize, like, they like to say not all heroes wear capes. I like to say you wear baddie chains
Oh yeah.
because,
I sure do.
right? You sure do. And I think that's the point here is that I feel like payroll is one of those areas where it's you don't hear from the rest of the employees sometimes unless there is an issue, right? And to your point
Yes.
earlier, thank your payroll people that are
Yeah.
helping you. Because unless there's an issue, and when there is an issue, it's stressful, and especially for employees, because you're kind of carrying the weight of their world. I mean, when you think about, if there isn't a miss in payroll, you're talking about people's livelihood, their
Oh yeah.
rent, their mortgage payment, their bills, right? There's a lot of stress that goes there, and even if it's a simple error that can be quickly fixed that day, and still it's still that stress of what
Yeah.
does this mean? So
Definitely, yeah. It's you just have to you always have to put yourself in that person's shoes. You don't know their
Mhm.
situation. You don't know, I don't
Yep.
care about their personality. You have to put that aside. You
Yep.
don't look at the person, you look at the situation. All my people are good people. They love their payroll department. And because they
That's
Yay.
need to
right.
be taken care of. But you have to earn that. You can't just go there and be like, I'm just gonna do payroll and not worry about the world. You have to be out there and mix with your employees, mix with your managers, let them know you're there for them. I am very involved. I train them on everything new that's coming up, anything that we are doing, anything that is going to be coming up. I go there and I do like winery tours, basically. I call it my training tours or my refresher training tours. And I'll go to every location, meet with all the managers, all the employees, all the supervisors, keep them informed, keep them engaged because some of them, so my location is in Manteca. That's where my home office is. But we have like Napa, we have Geyserville, we have Monterey. I will go to all of those to make sure that they know I'm there for them because for me,
Oh,
they're far. Each location is the closest one, it's about an hour and a half. And then the rest are at least 3 hours away. So you don't ever want them to feel neglected. And I know that's not
Mhm.
the case for all the payroll baddies out there, but
Right.
it's important to get engaged with your population.
I
That's
like
that's
that.
so good. And Flora, again, I want to be sensitive about your time. Again, you've been so gracious to give us, your time to do this. And again, it's so meaningful. So maybe we can, maybe close it out. And I thought we could play a fun little game before we close it out.
Oh, I like games.
And it would it's a
Is it a
spin on.
No,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
is
it
there
could
a
be a drinking
word?
game.
And
It
is
could
it
be
a
a drinking
wine?
game. Yeah, a drinking game. It's Would You Rather, the payroll edition. So we're gonna give you like three choices, and you have to pick one of them, right? So
Ooh.
Okay,
maybe
here we
Jesse, you
go.
can help me here.
Here we go.
Okay. So
Bring the
so one of my first one is you have to run payroll without using SAP payroll. That's one option. Number two would be you have to explain 100 to 100 new hires. You have to explain their garnishments to them or something like that, or maybe their taxes. You have to kind of break it down for them
Yeah,
to all these
taxes.
100 new hires,
yeah,
right?
taxes.
Ooh.
Um,
How about you find out 5 employees moved to California 6 months ago and didn't tell you till now.
Now we're in 2 quarters. I don't know. I mean, it's all bad, you guys.
yeah, I know. Which one would you
Would you
pick? That's why
rather?
would you rather?
I cannot because I know how it was and I know how it is. So I definitely will not want to process payroll without SAP because
Okay,
I've
I
been
like
there.
that one.
I've been there, done that. I won't go back. I'm a very software loving, system savvy nerd.
Love it.
You
Love
might
it.
be fatty self. So yeah, that's out of the question.
I love it.
I'll explain the garnishments.
And it's
I
actually,
knew
oh
it.
yeah, come
I
on,
knew it.
you'd be a pro at it. You'd be a pro at it. Uh,
Because the moving,
that's
now we're in 2 different quarters. Like you have to amend the quarter and fix the states and refund tax.
look at that. She's going into her payroll baddie self.
When
She's
all
talking
it's-
about
it's-
quarter.
Well, it's
Not right
January
yet.
30th,
I'll do
right?
it. I'll
Yeah.
hold a garnishment class, a tax
Yeah,
explanation
exactly.
garnishment class.
Yeah. I think we need to have just another episode just so people can understand how complicated tax is in United States with
It is.
every jurisdiction and stuff like that.
It
So
is. It
cross-border
definitely
stuff.
is.
Again, Flora, you truly are a super payroll baddie. And again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, for you to be here. And, again, Jesse, do you have any closing remarks? But I would love for us to, again, this is our first time doing this, but I would love for Flora to maybe leave us with one sentence, and it better be about SAP payroll. So
Well, you can't just prompt her like that.
I'm going to do
but
it. I'm going to do it.
As she's already been singing the SAP
Yeah.
praises throughout the call. No, I'm grateful to know you, to call you a friend, Flora, to call you a partner in this journey. I'm so glad that we could be part of your journey and continue to be. We were all in Portugal not that long ago and had the most incredible time, right? And it's really where the payroll baddie revolution was born. And I think it was spending time with you that we were like, we need to shine a light. So
100%.
truly, Flora, I feel like you were the reason that the payroll baddies were born. It was just knowing, the true baddies that are out there and to say, you know what, we need to shine a light. We need to give a voice to the other payroll baddies. And so I'm
do.
grateful that you are that first formal guest that can provide that input, the empathy, the experience, and just shine a light on you. So, and thank you for the wine. This is delicious. So cheers to
I'm
you
almost done.
Cheers.
and the baddies.
So Flora, leave us with a line, just one line of wisdom, whatever you would like to say.
Well, first, I want to thank you guys for all these years together and everything I've learned from you guys and your partners, your company, your support. I really mean it. I really mean it. I know so much about SAP because of you guys. I love you guys. And yes, Portugal was fun and we're going to do it again over and over every year.
Yes.
My message to the payroll baddies would be, and they know this because if you've done payroll, a lot of you don't like change. If you don't have SAP, go get it. All the manual stuff you do today, it's going to be automated for you. And you just have to watch it, make sure it's functioning the way you want it. Instead of running it and doing your retros, manually. Like, who does that anymore? I'm like, I don't even miss that. Like, that's the simplest thing, but it was like the most cumbersome thing that you do, right? It's like, why do I have to sit here and calculate pennies by hand? Like, why can't the system do it for me? Now it does it for you. And it's not just about the retros, but a lot of things. If you have specific systems out there, and I don't want to call them out and name them, but SAP is better than you have.
Hater. We love haters on this.
SAP is better than what you have. I got what you don't have.
Boom.
And it's
Mic drop.
my
drop.
Yes.
Thank you, Flora. And again, we appreciate
Cheers again.
everything. So, audience, until next time. Thanks, everybody.
Until next time.
Payroll baddies
Cheers.
out. Cheers.
No mistakes. Come on now, give them the cake. Payroll baddies making it rain. Checks go out, no stress, no pain. You work hard, they got your back. Dollars dropping, that's a fact. They the heroes, they the stars. Payroll baddies going hard. It's not magic, it's SAP. Payroll runs so flawlessly. Best in class, no second guess. Come on now, you know it's the best. Taxes, garnishments, direct deposit, Mr. Decimal. Now they caught it behind